years at this point. So it's very, very exciting to see once more.
Yeah, and we've been taking a look at the game feed. We've got a nice little feed of inside the arena. There's been images shared on social media as well. Everyone's filling in. There's a lot of excitement in the area to finally see some offline Overwatch as well. And hopefully you guys will be able to hear some of that. The crowd noise in particular, I think, will be played through as well where we can. So hopefully you'll be able to pick up on some of the atmosphere that's going on in the arena. But on to today's match, Seth. Seoul Dynasty, Philadelphia Fusion. Seoul Dynasty definitely been top dogs of the region so far. Philadelphia Fusion has been a team that has been succeeding a little bit. We will have to make a quick comment though and kind of give you an update on what's happening with the Philadelphia Fusion roster for this one, because as you may have seen on social media, if you follow Roston, who's the team's manager, they put out a statement basically saying that there's been an injury for Zest. So Zest will not be playing today, which means that if you know the Fusion lineup, we're probably looking at some kind of Carpe MN3 starting damage lineup, which certainly isn't ideal based on there's a lot of overlap with some of their hero pool, but we will hopefully see a fantastic performance from them nonetheless.
Well, here you go. The shots from inside the arena being played live in Busan. The audience ready to get hyped up as we get ready to see this match take off between these two teams. Every time they clash, it has been a wonderful showing between the two squads. They have a very storied history between them. And now we have to see who is going to be able to come out on top. I mean, I think a lot of people, whenever you see this matchup, especially on the side of the Fusion arena, they would love to see Carpe playing. Granted, this is not necessarily the circumstances that we want to see it happen in, but being able to see it happen here today in a LAN environment is going to be damn exciting. As everybody takes their seats and we get ready to have battle commence, the players will make their way onto the stage here in just a few moments, and then we can get the action underway.
And what you have to remember is, when you look at the APAC region, Philadelphia Fusion, Seoul Dynasty, and then you throw in the Shanghai Dragons into the mixture, they're one of the original franchise slots that came into the league all the way back at the start. They've been in it for the long haul. The franchises have played against each other multiple times, and of course, staying competitive with the other teams that have come in. So Fusion Dynasty have a lot of Korean players on their teams, have done for a while as well, so it's understandable there's going to be a lot of excitement to rally behind both of these teams as they get ready for this LAN Clash showdown. As mentioned at the top of the show, doesn't really affect the standings all that much, let's be real. Both of these teams have qualified for playoffs directly, and none of them are at risk of losing that, changing that. They won't have to go through play-ins at all. This is probably just to do with competitive testing, getting the reps in, and also putting on a fantastic show for everyone in the arena, as well as you at home.
Of course, got a brief little flash here of the Korean commentators before we came back on camp. I haven't seen some of those guys in forever, and it's good to see them still also sticking by and being able to continue casting Overwatch League. And I'm overjoyed that they have that LAN experience once more. That's happening here on home soil, because it's been, like I said, a damn long while. Apex was a while ago, as was Contenders when we had it on LAN. So I'm really excited to get into this one and see who's going to be able to come out on top. But it is a bit puzzling and a bit worrying for Fusion not being able to have Zest starting on this lineup, because he has been huge at times. So it could be a little bit rough for them with him out. We'll have to just wait and see, because it's been a damn long while since we've seen Carpe as well. So we'll see how they're going to be able to perform, and we'll get ready to go ahead and introduce the teams.
Yeah, we'll see them coming up soon. But for now as well, I think looking towards the Seoul Dynasty lineup, they are relatively unchanged in terms of their starting lineup. We'll get to that in a moment, but you can probably guess who's going to be playing. Seth, it doesn't really change as much. They're playing fantastically. Iris, of course, being the latest member to join that team earlier on in the season. I think you said it quite well yesterday, is that it doesn't look like creative's gone. It doesn't look like they've missed a beat whatsoever. They fit in perfectly to this team, despite not having the most amount of play time. And Prophet's able to do Prophet things, borderline MVP performance, playoffs Prophet without the playoffs effectively. And Smurf is having the time of his life right now in the tank role. Just Zarya has been fantastic, just absolutely dominating all opponents that come by his way. So expecting more of the same today from the Seoul Dynasty.
Yeah, very much. I fully agree, and I will re-echo my sentiments in that this team, whatever the structure is, whatever Toby has set up for them, to be able to just build synergy so quickly, bringing in another support player after having created for a damn long while, it seems to be great. It seems to be working a treat. You know, the loss to the Hangzhou Spark notwithstanding, it has been an overall fantastic season for the side of the Dynasty, which is not something that the fans are used to seeing. But I can see the Marine giving a look, and it's time to go ahead and meet the teams. And there they are on stage, the WGDG Arena, in front of their fans for the first time in a damn long while. And for some of these players, the first time ever, you would have to suspect, because some of these young up-and-comers, they skipped over the LAN era of contenders. They weren't in Apex. And because of COVID, obviously, haven't been able to play on a stage in front of a crowd. So for a lot of these players, especially on the Fusion side, given the number of rookies that they have, it is going to be a day of firsts. So exciting to see how the action is going to be potentially affected by that. But here is the starting five for the Seoul Dynasty. It's exactly what you anticipate, with Prophet's duo coming through. And we don't really expect to see anything different now that we're past that Junker Queen meta where we had Prophet playing the Brigida.
Yeah, back in the damage slot, living a life up, particularly on the Tracer, while Fitz is taking up the somber responsibilities. It's like the bedstone composition that we see in the current meta. No complaints from them starting out. Unlikely we'll see Stalker. Stalker had their moment during the Summer Showdown when Genji was the next big thing. For the time being, this is the lineup that will probably stay consistent throughout. As we've already mentioned, Philadelphia Fusion, when we get round to them, have a slightly different flavor of roster. Don't know if that's going to bode out well for them today. They have a lot on the line to be able to break down the Seoul Dynasty today.
And if they can do it, what a story it would be. I mean, granted, we did see some weaknesses from Dynasty. They didn't really look like themselves in that series a couple days ago versus the Hangzhou Spark. They tried a couple of different things compared to what they have been running so far during the Countdown Cup qualifier. So something tells me that unless they feel like they really have fixed the issues in the short amount of time that they've had to get some additional scrims in, because granted, you know, there is at least like a half a day of travel to be able to get down to this arena and whatnot, then I think they're just going to be going back to what has been their bread and butter thus far, what was putting them on a trajectory to go through this entire qualifier ahead of the playoffs undefeated. It's squashed, so I think it's just going to be a reversion back to what had been working before.
Yeah, people often joke that the Seoul Dynasty tend to big brain themselves a little bit, but less about that, more about the Philly Fusion.
And here they come, making their way out onto the stage with, I mean, I was going to say, it's basically a home crowd for both teams, because we have, while we're not in Seoul, and everybody's Korean. And oh, it's just sad. I wonder what did you do, Zest? What have you done to yourself, young man?
Well, you don't need us to tell you why Zest won't be playing today. You can visibly see it. Oh?
Oh. Something with... Is he gonna? Oh, okay.
Ah, yes, the Dragon Blade.
I thought he was going to knight them with an umbrella.
That's what I thought as well. Hey, look, that nice of the team to give that gesture over to Zest, being able to actually pull out a Dragon Blade on the stage, something they're not going to be able to do today, and something I'm sure they was looking forward to potentially doing. One of the rookies joining the Philadelphia Fusion this season, like you said, Seth, not having necessarily the most opportunity to play on LAN. It's going to be it makes it a little bit even sadder that Zest won't be joining us today.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was one of those scooters, if he was trying to ride around And we saw, years ago, Stryker injure himself ahead of the grand finals, and I believe in 2019 because he was riding one of those scooters and hit a bump in the road and then fell off. Hoping that that's not the case, and I'm hoping for a very, very fast healing process for him. Obviously, as somebody who also just somewhat recently recovered from having a broken hand. It's not really fun when you can't play video games, especially when you predominantly play FPS. You can really only play things like MMOs and turn-based single-player games.
That's so horrible for you, isn't it, Seth? You could only play
the
WoW.
MMO part's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, anyway, here is the starting five. It's been a damn long while since we've seen Carpe's handsome face, but he will be there playing for the first time in a while. He's got the new hair going as well. Can't see it in the photo, but we saw him on stage. Bleach blonde. We'll see if that's him hitting his Super Saiyan form to be able to help take down the Dynasty.
And look, that kind of injury, we obviously don't know the details for Zest, but that can be a lengthy injury, especially because of how much you're going to need that hand to be able to play the game. Carpe being in this team could be what we see for the rest of the season. This might be the look of the Fusion heading into the playoffs. Because that injury doesn't turn around necessarily quick. We don't know what it is, but if it's a break, if it's a fracture, Zest is probably out for the rest of the year.
I mean, it's not only that, but it's, even if it does heal in time, it's so much time spent not scrimming, not practicing. And with potential changes to the meta ahead of playoffs, depending on what patch we end up on, not being practiced up on that can be just as harmful. We saw in the past, in 2020, when, players for different teams who weren't able to really get themselves out to Korea for the longest time, they finally managed to make their way here. They got their visas approved. They arrived. But because they hadn't had enough time to scrim with the teams, we did not see them get to play. I'm thinking about the likes of, I believe, Nero when he was on Guangzhou Charge. We didn't quite get to see them be able to finally step on stage alongside their comrades, alongside their teammates. So I agree with you. It's a very scary look. It's a very scary thing to have happen. Obviously, the most important thing is that Zest is okay and will be healing properly. The game, aside from that, is just that. It is the game. So his health comes first. So we know that Carpe is still a very skilled player, but his lack of stage time, that's where the concerns come in. We have to see how they're going to perform. Because this is also making it a very one-dimensional read for the Seoul Dynasty. Because with Carpe coming in, you're not going to be anticipating, unless he wants to go all the way back to his BK Stars era stuff and play Genji, we're anticipating that this is likely going to be just Sombra Tracer from these two right here. It's going to have to be some form of that double hit scan coming in. But maybe, you never know. Maybe Carpe is going to surprise us. Maybe he's going to pull out the Genji after all of these years.
Look, that's the mystery box right now. What is Carpe going to bring to the stage today? One thing to note as well, Belos Rhea going to be starting as well. Fury, I imagine, will probably get some substitution time and get into the roster at some point. I think Fusion have looked their best with Fury in the roster in the current meta. Maybe it's a map-dependent choice to bring Belos Rhea in to begin with, but that's a substitution I do expect to see at some point. Even though it's for one map.
Yeah, it's definitely possible depending on what the pool is going to be looking like. We haven't seen Belos Rhea in the last couple showings, and we haven't need to because Fury has kind of had things on lock for the Fusion, especially in that series just yesterday. So, well, we'll see if Belos Rhea shows up. I think it would definitely be a great little moment for him to, be able to also get involved, be on stage, perform in front of the crowd while they're cheering for him and whatnot. So we can keep our fingers crossed that we do go somewhere where it's a bit more Winston-centric. But for now, we'll just have to see how things develop and what that map set is as we continue to get ready to dive into the game.
Yeah, the same sort of thing kind of applies here as well, Seth, is that, yes, we have this opportunity to have LAN performances for a lot of these players. Belos Rhea being able to get some stage time now, get that first one out of the way, whatever, with this lineup, it means that when it comes around to playoffs when hopefully they make the distance and get to Anaheim perhaps, then you don't have that first LAN nerves with this team. You can kind of just get the reps in now, cycle through players, get them all a little bit of stage time with slightly lower stakes. Like we said, this doesn't change much of the standings. Now's the time to get LAN performances in for all of your players who may not have had it with this roster. Really get it locked down and look ahead to what comes next when you make it to the stage of playoffs.
Thank you very much. Well, did have the map set there for just a brief moment. We should be getting underway here as we go ahead and dive straight in. I don't know. I was losing my mind talking about Belos Rhea not being in. I just assumed and forgot already because there's like so much going on and it's already been a hell of a day. So he will be starting. So that's my mistake. I'm just an idiot. But it is
Don't
what
worry
it is.
about it. He's in. That's what counts, Seth. Nepal is our first destination. I think Sanctum's the first in the round. But yeah, we'll have Belos Rhea in the lineup to begin with. And of course, like I said, Fury will probably be in at some point, I imagine.
Ooh.
Get the reps in, get the stage time. Smurf Winston,
I
the
like
Winto
this.
on my land.
Okay, I thought maybe they're actually going to stick with Symmetra. They do not. MN3 is going to swap up for the Sombra, but Carby's going to be coming out on the Mei. Something else that he has shown us from time to time. See whether or not catches the Dynasty off guard. Belos Rhea can be a prime target for those hacks coming through. Vinham already going to be swapping up, goes over to the Lucio, and AimGod is able to just right-click down Smurf. So first blood found for the side of the Fusion. They should be able to get the first lock onto the point as well.
Smurf doing a little bit of scouting, gets up there, sees the entire lineup, tries to move to the other side of the map, goes for the Mega, and then all of a sudden, he has Fixer and AimGod in his face. Easy burn down, he's a prime target for the hacks, just a prime target anyway. MN3 gets run over.
Yeah, just dove on Smurf and Prophet just diving in. They managed to find that elimination. So now down a member, Anti out onto 2. Carpet, Belos Rhea, both going to be falling low. Fixa will find Iris. But in the meantime, the point has been flipped as we go skirmishing outside. Flyer Strike will find Prophet. Smurf gets Carpe. A bloody brawl. It seems like both teams seemingly shaking hands and just go ahead and duke it out. Fisticuffs coming through. Is the point flip nearly there, back into the Fusion's control, but with Fitz and Smurf re-arriving, the Dynasty will maintain it.
Catch you later.
Lovely bit of Gentleman's agreement to get down and dirty to begin with. Skirmishes, like you said, Seth, coming out, 26% and accruing for the Dynasty, leading an ult charge for the time being. Prophet on the Genji, gonna have that blade soon. Iris keeping up with ult charge, so that's the potent combination looking to go. Carpe trailing a little bit with that Blizzard, and AimGod's gonna have that Coalescence for his next fight.
And Carpe just getting taken so very low, does have the ice block now.
AimGod would have it.
Unable to get away, ends up falling. The wall comes up. Carpe trying to kite back over to the Mega. Smurf goes diving in, manages to zap him down. Belos Rhea just backpedaling over onto the point. Anti out, shield raised, trying to keep himself and MN3 protected. MN3, however, is going to leave him out in the dry. Says, yeah, you're on your own, good friend. Dips, builds up towards the EMP, but with Belos Rhea gone, 60% now on the board for the Dynasty. The first volley worked for the Fusion, but the follow-up just has not.
There's the change-up. Belos Rhea going over to the Winston now, going to try and match Smurf in the mirror. It might be too little too late. We're at 70% already. Ult's on the board for the Seoul Dynasty. Might struggle to find the impact they're looking for. MN3 with the EMP.
Yep, he throws that out, finds Vinham, but the kill is just not there. Smurf shuts down Belos Rhea. Coalescence now rolling from AimGod. Will go ahead and just hose down all the support.
Triple!
AimGod gets 3 kills! What is this? Fell right into their traps, it would seem. Prophet gonna go jumping forward, takes him down to 7 health, but Carpe's there to scoop the final 2 kills. That's the wipe. That's the Fusion regaining control for themselves.
Tough battle though. Tough hold for them here though, Seth. That Nano Blade combination online. Fixer does not have the beat to try and mitigate some of this. If they go on tempo with this as they try and enter for the retake, could spell disaster for the Fusion. They might be losing Sanctum very early on.
Alright, Blade pulled out, nanoed up his Prophet, gets into the corner, he's slashing away at Belos Rhea, but Belos Rhea's just got so much HP, and Carpet in the meantime got himself to the back line, found Iris, the pulse bomb kill is there, he also scoops one on the Prophet, sound barrier from Vinham is far too late. Shielding now going to expire, he's going to try to retreat, but to no avail, Belos Rhea hounds him down. Despite the damage coming through from Fitz on the Fixa, he will go ahead and hold steady, keeps the sound barrier locked in.
Prophet Carpe Tracer duel, Seth. He's had enough with the Genji, he's gone over to Tracer to match. Mirror compositions, the only deviation being the support line. We actually have Vindane take up the Brigitte responsibilities as well. Fixer still has this beat. Good defensive tool for the Fusion to try and get up to the upper stage of this map. Gonna struggle if he gets hacked. Very low, gets taken up by Smurf's Primal Rage.
Does get hacked, and now the sound barrier not going to be allowed to be in the fight. Carpe is well going to be swept. MN3 swept under the rug. Carpe stays alive, pops the recall, but Vinham apparently gets on top. The flip finds the kill. The flip is back in favor of the Dynasty. Belos Rhea primal up, goes over to the point to at least be able to force out this overtime. Buy some space for the rest of the squad to be able to rejoin here. Try to get that counter flip back into their favor and then close out. Smurf goes for the contest. The sound barrier now dropped in. Fixa shielding up just about everybody other than Name God, who does have that next coalescence ready to go, but the healing output is not going to be enough. They're trying to keep Belabria in the fight. He's stuck into the corner. He will be able to finish off Smurf. It's a 2 for 2, but now a 3 for 2 as a fusion. Look to win this one out. The flip back into their favor has come through. They're ticking up at 84%. Now they're in control, and they might just be able to steal this one away.
No way they get away with that one. So messy, so wild. Seoul Dynasty gonna have to sprint back to the point with the rally to have a touch of this one. Carpe's lingering with that pulse bomb, waiting to catch the first person who comes through.
MN3 is giving him the information. He's putting out the pings. Carpe now playing around the front. The overtime forced out. There's the stick, and that shuts down the rally. Vidheim dead, but Fixa traded out. Smurf able to find one. Iris, however, still in a very precarious spot, but to his rescue comes Profit and Smurf. They turn it around. They find the kills. Now they chase forward and look for Aim God. They shove him back all the way over towards the Mega Room. They get the kill. Belastria cannot escape. The stick from Profit, just too much damage. And while it is damn close, Fixa will extend this for a little bit longer. He's going to get cleaned up, and that will be the round secured. So first round of Sanctum goes the way of the Dynasty after an incredible back and forth.
Oh, they made him work for that one. So close to taking it away as well. I was watching Carpe's POV, and we're like, okay, he's got the pulse bomb, he's got a stick, shuts down the rally early from Vidheim. You know, a little bit of value comes from it before being blown up. You're like, oh, that should be it. That should be the play. His end god's cold, just back on your screen quickly. I think this is the triple, maybe.
Yeah, just got the fire hose out. And
just, wasn't even looking at him.
Sprays him down. 3 quick kills. Nice little highlight play from a hero that we don't often get to see with the Moira, but it's not quite enough to get them to win, but the 99% for still looking decent. MN3 now going to be coming out on the Cassidy. Carpe once more back over to the Mag.
Yeah. Interesting look for the fusion. A rotate round to the high ground, watch the main gates. Dynasty going for some changes up. Vidheim switches over to the Lucio. Still going to roll out with the Genji and the Sombra here. Just biding their time. They're going to go when the point unlocks. They're jumping on top, up on the high ground.
Yep, force the fight. MN3 anti it out for the moment, gets a dink there onto Profit. Not the kill, but hits finds Carpe. May have been hacked, didn't quite get to see it, whether or not it could have made its way into the ice block or if it was already on cooldown, but now that's going to be the damage dealer taken away from the fusion. Drop down from behind, Fitz just farming off of Belastria, trying to get the CMP online. He's nearly halfway there. They push in behind the shield. He goes for a desperate pin to try to trade at least 1 kill back. They won't be able to find it. See if Belastria makes a faster swap this time around. With MN3 going the way of Sombra, it seems highly likely, and yes, it will be the Winston.
Yeah, you tried it. It's worthwhile, but you know, you've got to go back to old reliable mirror composition coming in for the fusion now. Sacrifice a little bit of the ultimate charge. It's not like Belastria had much in the tank anyway, so it doesn't benefit from those changes to ultimate charge across the board. MN3 and Carpe, 40% each. Fitz hacked up, going to be converted.
Yep. Good calling. MN3 gets the hack. Carpe goes in for the alley-oop. Kill established. Contesting the point, throws down the bubble. Good amount of damage out. But the call comes through that Iris is completely isolated. And yeah, he ends up getting taken down. Smurf slept for a brief little moment. Profit going to be antied out. Vidheim now getting taken down. And that's going to be a supportless Seoul Dynasty. Carpe continues to clean up the kills. Flip it in their favor. Fusion now gaining control for the first time here on Village.
Iris must have, like, Baby Printers had a neon sign above them saying, "Dive me, I'm a lonely support." Just completely away from the rest of his team. Just begging to be killed there. Philadelphia Fusion right to capitalize on that, convert that kill on the back line, and now it's for Seoul Dynasty to assault once more. They're going to have the Nanoblade combination online. Fixer doesn't have the beat. There's a finite window where they have a free blade to use. They're going to use it right away.
Profit dashing in, gets on top of Aim God, finds that kill. Fixa was hacked out. Carpe trades 1 back by getting the pulse onto Iris. But I don't think that's going to be enough. The damage dealt. Fusion sent scattering. A little minor delay there from MN3. Ends up going down to the back end. And okay, they want to eke out as much percentage as they possibly can, it would seem. Also try to get some of these ults online. So they go back in. It's onto the point. Flip is now there. Fusion narrowly take the lead, but Dynasty take it right back.
Yeah, extending that lead ahead of the Fusion. EMP available for them. Fixer has beat. Very unlikely to catch a Lucio. Current way things are currently going, so expect the beat to be used as a reactionary tool when those ultimates start flying from both sides now that everyone's got them available. This is on top of them. Gonna use it to try and shut down Fixer right away.
Right into the face of Pixel, but it's going to be the Boostio coming through. AimGod saves his life. That means the sound barrier can still be used, and he goes ahead and drops the beat. AimGod, however,
Doesn't catch
still
AimGod.
dead. I think he might have avoided getting the shielding, so Fixa ends up just dropping it basically for himself. However, the trade-up is still there because Carpe is farming. Finds himself another elimination in the fight. Fusion can go ahead and get this flip once more. Smurf getting hounded down. They will go ahead and leave him to his own devices. Fusion make their way back over the point where they should be able to... Oh, no, they already have gained control. My bad. And now they will go ahead and tick up above at 68%.
Freeze, waiting, stalking, has the EMP. Oh, he's been spy checked.
He has been, but he actually almost
Oh, he
down
couldn't get the Mega!
Oh, but MN3, he greeds to try to get the Mega Pack. It's taken out, and Fitz finds AimGod. Now it's just Fix up. Belstria can buy some time with the Primal. Leaps into the corner. Smurf as well, ready to match at the drop of a hat. Belstria, okay. Seems like they just say that we have a little bit of time on our side. We're up by around 20%. Just die, reset, save the ults for the next fight.
Yeah, they win that next fight, Seth. They got a good chance of taking the round. They're at 92%. Lose it, however, we're in that final fight territory by the time this kicks off. Soul Dynasty, this will be the map, the fight, I think, that decides this round. Potentially the map if Dynasty take it. Carpe has a pulse available.
Oh, but
Prophet's
there
already
we
gone.
go. The EMP comes out from MN3. They manage to find Prophet. Starting the fight off with the right foot forward. Carpe, pulse still in hand, waiting for a moment to use it. Primal comes out from Smurf. He's trying to juggle. AimGod into the corner as well as Fixed Up. He's turned around. Finally manages to isolate one. As for the other, desperately tries to break away. He's managed to Primal is there from Belazria. Shoves him back. Fix is going to be hounded down. Smurf gets the kill with the melee hit. 99% forced out. The flip getting ready to come through from the side of the Dynasty. EMP used by Fitz. Manages to come up with two. MN3 and Belastria both eliminated. Now Carpe basically alone trying to keep this one contested, but Benham gets up into his grill, kills him off with the right click, and that is going to be it. They cannot retouch. The OT does not get forced because Dynasty was not at 99 already, and even if it was, I don't think anybody was going to be in range to take it, but very well fought here from the side of the Fusion. They made this a hell of a lot more competitive than we might have anticipated, given that Zest is not in the starting lineup. But Dynasty, in the end, are able to take this map 2-0.
Hopefully that extends throughout the rest of the series. We've had a good set of 3-0s, 3-1s, as we've had yesterday and today. Hopefully we'll find out that we can get a 5-mapper series. I hate for everyone to come down to this arena in Busan, only to be sent away after a quick one. Dynasty are leading after that first Nepal. We'll have to see what's next in the rotation. I believe we're going to have Kings Row coming up next, Seth.
I think you may be correct, but hey, either way, the fans are getting a treat. Again, you know, there may be some Dynasty bias just because they are the team representing Korea overall. But, of course, you know, with full rosters of Korean players, there's plenty to cheer for here. So I don't think you're going to be walking away from this one disappointed as if you were a Fuel fan from earlier in the day. Anyway, that does it for map number 1. We are going to have Hybrid coming up next. We'll see what happens there. If the Fusion can continue to put up performances like this, if Carpe can continue to frag out of control on that Tracer when we come back from the break. So don't go anywhere. And we are back. It's time to go into our second map of this series, as we had the Seoul Dynasty narrowly able to take 2 rounds in a row there on Nepal, but they certainly had to work for it. Philadelphia Fusion were fighting tooth and nail to try to get some round wins in their Trid.
Yeah, and it looks like we're not seeing any substitutions moving into map number 2. They're keeping more of the consistent lineup, and they're good to go. As a reminder, MN3 and Carpe into the mix. Carpe reminding us that Carpe can still do Carpe things. The Tracer performance is really strong so far. It's going to be an option I feel will have to be pulled out many a time in the rest of this series as we look to head towards King's Row. And I think that is probably going to be the look we see from the Fusion. MN3 on the Sombra, Carpe Tracer, and hopefully he keeps up the level of dominance he's seen so far.
It could be that. I mean, Carpe has also in the past shown us the Sojourn, or maybe Carpe himself would have looked to run the Sombra, and then you'd have MN3 on the Sojourn. Something like that could also happen if you want to move away from the Tracer a little bit. Given the way that he was playing it, I think you just keep doing what you were doing, because Carpe, despite the losses, was looking incredible. And granted, look, it's hard to not notice it from time to time. You go back, you watch, you look at comments online. There's a lot of people saying that Carpe's washed. Those people are idiots. Because while he has had some struggles and whatnot in this season, he's also just got 2 incredible DPS players on his lineup that have had more playtime than him. And that's just kind of the way that it goes. But right now, he comes back in here and he's looking to shut down the naysayers and say, you know what, I am still here to play. I might be the most veteran player on this, well, not on this stage, but pretty damn close to actually on this. Maybe he is actually the most veteran player on this stage now that I come to think about it. But, you know, he is still here to play. He still has the ability. He's got the gift.
It's nice of Carpe to stand up for all the boomers out there and knock down these rookies on his team, the Zoomers that have taken over the positions on the damage lineup, and like I said, to give everyone a reminder of what made this player great and why they're still great. Getting ready to jump into our next map. Looks like all the teams are now ready after a brief delay. And let's see if Control was a fluke, or whether the Fusion are actually going to be this competitive throughout the entire series. Jumping into the game, King's Row, our next destination.
That it is. You were correct, and then I'll just go ahead and mentally check this one. Route 66 New Queen Street, Ilios. Boom. Yep. Got it. Won't forget it. We'll go ahead and jump into this. See if Fusion can go ahead and tie up the score. I'm just doing some extra checking here, and I actually do believe that Carpe is the most veteran player on this stage, because he would have gotten his start all the way back at the beginning of Apex in Season 1 when he was on BK Stars. There's the famous clip of Taimu headshotting him when he was playing Genji point blank range on Volskaya Industries. What is Volskaya Industries, you ask? Well, it's a map that used to be in the game that now isn't. Anyway, yeah. Overwatch 2 babies, there's some history for you. We'll go ahead and get into this one, though, and see if that veteran status can continue to shine through.
I can't wait for this map to end, Seth, for you to go right on to Junkertown. Completely forget what that third map is going to be. We're seeing the lineups come in. It's the Seoul Dynasty on defense first, so we have a little bit more confidence talking about their lineup to start things off. Smurf staying on the Winston. That's not going to be a problem for that man in particular. And then we see Iris and Vendame with the Brigitte on a backline. Profit fits on the Sombra Tracer. Double hit scan. Please run Widow Hanzo to open this one up, Billy.
All right. Quick shot into the Brig Shield. Swap over. He's taking his time with it. Fitz was waiting for him. Smurf going to be taking a nap around the corner, so he is pushed around to safety.
Now the fight connection commence. Yeah, the rafters pretty much controlled. All the high ground is theirs. Fusion are rotating slowly around to the point. Carpe just doesn't seem to care. He'll just go in whenever he feels like it. That's an isolated Bellasria.
Oh, that he is. Goes low. Has the bubble up, though, and they can't break through it fast enough, so does manage to make it out, much like MN3. Just playing forward, trying to build up towards that EMP, but right now Fitz is well ahead. Doubling his charge for now. Shield at the ready. You can see Fixa kind of constantly flicking back and forth left and right, so knows that he's going to be a big hack target, so he's trying to avoid that, but instead Fitz chooses wisely, goes over to Aim God. MN3 now going to be swapping, so will be that Sojourn Tracer rather than Sombra coming through. He's going to try to make this one work. He says, you know what, we need a little bit of extra burst damage, try to get some punish, so we'll see if the rail shots can connect.
And needs to find the right angles, though. They're playing the corner. They've not given the Fusion a lot of space to play with and really abuse some longer sightlines. At a certain point, Carpe's going to be dealing just as much damage as you are when it gets to that close range. Pulse Bomb online. He sees two targets right there in Hotel that he might dash into with an explosive entrance in a second. But it's Fitz with the EMP sitting in the back line, ready to go.
Yep. And naturally takes up, but he manages to find 4 for his trouble. Picks up, hanging on by a thread. MN3, however, able to find Smurf. Punishes the dive forward, so they only lose out on 1. It is the mana boost that is taken away from them, however. They've got now going to be respawning, looking to come back through as Carpe and Prophet do get out of the hotel. Pulse Bomb still going to be held. Prophet rotates around to Mega. Grab this one. Someone now is actually going to be healed up. Belshry trying to contest onto the high ground. Finds Iris, but again, there's no one else really playing this position, so there's no punishment to be found. Belshry continues to harass out. Nano for Nano, both goes over to the Winstons. Carpe lets the Pulse Bomb go. He does not find an elimination. It's going to be a trade of supports. The Winstons find some kills, but Belshry with the Primal Pop gets the second one. Iris taken down. Fixa trying to stay alive. Smurf chases him up here into the movie theater. Hits him against the wall a couple of times, but has not been able to finish him off, and now the rally is instantly going to be popped from Fixa as he goes right back over towards the point. Carpe gets Fitz, and that should be the Fusion finally breaking through.
I don't think they can fully break through unless MN3 finds a pick here with the railgun. There will be a recontest that comes through.
The rallying forward.
So.
Gets on the Prophet. He gets shoved back. Overclock at the ready now for MN3. Armor Pack's going forward, but Smurf is still going to be taken down. He was just completely by himself. Not enough healing focused into him, so he ends up falling, and that is the lockdown. Fusion now 3 minutes 35 seconds as we go into the street space. Granted, not one of the larger time banks that we have seen on this map as of late, but a cap is a cap.
Finn Dave so distracted by the flankers coming in here as Fitz will take a railgun shot to the head and get taken out. A little bit of way to come back to them, but Finn Dave was so distracted with these flankers, he wasn't able to follow up with Smurf, get in range and use that rally to help with some of the healing to keep him sustained on the point. Smurf left out to the wind just to die on point at that point. Well, the recontest is over. Coming in from Assault Dynasty, Philadelphia Fusion have a sizable part of putting the point.
Prophet finding him in 3 around the corner. He and Carpe pretty much neck and neck as far as these pulse bumps are concerned. I mean, Carpe, he let his go after Prophets, and he's already beat him to the next one. He has been doing some serious work here for the Fusion as far as the damage output is concerned. Prophet just dashing out around. Opposite side of the cart, gets himself back over towards his teammates.
My ultimate is charging. Railgun charge.
Here, overclock. We'll use the one in the chamber and then look to expend it.
Oh, he takes that so very low. Nearly finds an elimination. The Honest is going to be traded out in the end all the same. Got dead, and again, Belshry manages
Prophet
to stomp in, finds Vinheim. Now supportless are the Soul Dynasty. Profitless as well as Carpe gets the melee shot to finish him off. Fix it, does get taken down. Smurf trying to keep them in this as much as humanly possible, but he's got to make his exit, get ready to recontest as the cart gets ready to arrive at B.
He can get some heals. There will be sustained for Smurf to get up there. Hiding around the corner. Primal Rage should be able online this fight, provided he doesn't get forced off too early. Bella's very hacked. He too has the option of a Primal Rage should the fight get extended long enough. Overclock available for MN3 once more.
Spike quite far back now, goes sliding forward. Seems like they want to maybe take the fight here pretty darn soon. Carpe needs to get topped up. Belshry putting the bubble down, trying to cut off some of this healing from Smurf, but just not enough throughput to really get the punish now. He's going to go jumping into the back line. Nanoed up. Primal trying to get built here. MN3 tries to slide away from him, and Fitz is there for the alley-oop. They find the kill. Quick punish does get found. Belshry going low, now going to be antied out. Primal does come in. Smurf, however, still relatively healthy, now has an ult of his own. Goes down, he's continuing to limit test, falls to 80 HP without popping it. And he's going to keep it for the next fight as Prophet is able to find 2 on the back end.
Yeah, and that could be the last fight as well, Seth. We're in a 1 minute time bank right now. Primal Rage, Smurf, it's available. Carpe's Pulse Bomb needs to be a bunker buster. Donation of ult charge over to MN3, who switched over to might be able to get an EMP online for this fight. Needs a lot of work to get that done though.
He does. Things slow down for a brief moment. Pretty soon they're going to ramp up. Carpe with the pulse. can be the one to really open up the rest of this attack and get them the hack. That extra minute and a half time bank bump up. And then through the hack on the Prophet doesn't really lead to too much. Carpe playing out of the subway. There's no one looking around for a target. Spots him on the high ground though, and yeah, good luck getting to him. Vince is guard to the back door, Prophet guard to the front. Now EMP at the ready, and everybody is clustered up. This could be absolutely monstrous, and it is! The EMP comes in, but Prophet finds the kill. The Nano out develops for Carpet lets Pulse Pop go. Doesn't find an elimination from way, but still gets on the Finham. Aim God going to be taking one, but then gets hacked out the corner, and MS pretty finished off. And just like that, the Fusion, they turned the EMP, no matter how massive it was, completely on its head. The kills come through with Prophet out of the fray. There's just not enough damage to be able to find the kills. And that is going to be the Fusion making it to an extra minute and a half now to try to finish the map.
They just got away with murder, Seth. That 4-man landed and Anti came into the mix as well. They should have had way more of those kills converted, but they were unable to do so. Fusion weathered a storm, turned it back on the Seoul Dynasty, and now we're into point C. There is 1 minute left on the time bank though, so it can be still held here. Double support ultimates available for the Dynasty. Pulse Bomb for Prophet, but it's MN3's EMP that's online. Can they find more success than the Dynasty did on their last attempt?
Well, Carpe is going to be taken down, so that certainly slows them up for now. With 52 seconds remaining. They're going to have to just go for the reset, wait until they have Carpe at their sides. Crucially though, you mentioned the EMP from MN3, but the support ults are there from the Dynasty. Finham, he would get the rally canceled, but can have it for the back end of the fight. Just wait and see what happens.
30 seconds. They're going to do this in OT if they do it at all.
Yes.
Support's found with the EMP.
Okay, EMP from MN3 goes out. Finham going to be taken down. Iris tries to keep him alive, not going to work. Both supports now out of the fight. Big opening here for the Fusion, but they need to get this cart rolling, make sure that it still keeps moving up, but they have to also peel for the back line because Smurf continues to harass around those angles.
Good
Recall
storm.
burn. They get out of this line to escape. They pile him in. They try to get the body block, but he manages to break through. Pulse Pump now can be thrown down at the ground. Doesn't find the elimination. The rally rolling from both of the Brigidas. Belstria playing up close, leaps back over the cart. Smurf goes up onto the high ground. Primal Rage still at the ready. Aim God, another nano. He's hacked. Just 30% away. He can have that one built up very swiftly. Belstria going to be antied out. He gets the juggle. He's looking for the kill here onto Iris. Smurf is going to be taking a nap, so he cannot heal for him. And Iris ends up going down. Prophet as well, dead to a shield bash from Fixa. Belstria zaps his way to a second kill. We look for a little bit more from the side of the Fusion if they want to be able to make their way all the way to the end. There's just a couple meters left to go. Smurf now going to be taken down. Vince desperately tries to swap over to the Widowmaker, but they don't have anybody to occupy the cart. Prophet had to recall away from it, so in overtime, despite the low time banks, Fusion will make it to the end of King's Row.
That's an unfortunate EMP as well that came in from Fitz. He only hit MN3 with it, despite there being a large cluster of Fusion players. And he just dies immediately afterwards as well, not finding value from that at all. And then obviously you see the Primal Rage getting picked off by Bell's Rhea. He's just able to elongate the fight, jump around, cause all this havoc for the Seoul Dynasty, and ultimately allows them to cap. Now, this does put them in a precarious position though, Seth. They did finish in OT, so if Dynasty finish with a 1 minute time bank, they can guarantee they won't lose this map. They have to actually get all the way through the Streets phase, and it's so good to see that the Fusion are keeping this series competitive still, despite some last-minute roster struggles.
Yeah. See if they can get it done. And what the Fusion are going to be running, looking right now like MN3 is going to be coming out with the Sojourn. Carpe, of course, sticking to the Tracer. Smurf maybe tooling around with the idea of going for the Zarya, something that has been an incredibly strong pick for him.
See, they roll out with it indeed, but we're going to keep MN3 on the Sojourn. Carpe on the Tracer. Prophet Genji goes for a quick deflect. Going to roll out with it, it looks like. They're not returning to spawn just yet.
Yeah, no, they are not. Prophet Genji has been incredibly strong at times throughout this season. Quick hop here on to Fit, sends him back into the spawn room. Get some decent percentage gains, though. Anti connects on the 2. Prophet and Finham both eating that one. Finham, he bites the dust. Carpe plays off the back of that setup there beautifully. Finds the first kill of this defense.
MMO-3 is going to slide back to the point. So Dynasty have begun to take some space. Prophet's going to challenge MMO-3 up on this high ground, keep him out of there. Belos Rhea tries to buy some space. Oh, doesn't quite convert the kill though.
Can't quite get it. Needed somebody else to help break that Zarya bubble a little bit faster if they wanted to get the punish. Instead, Prophet does manage to make his way out. And it's relatively healthy, but it's taken down as Carpe finds yet another elimination. He's just 30% off from that pulse bomb being online as well. MMO-3 slides in behind the car, breaks line of sight, gets the headshot on the Prophet. There's a huge shutdown. The Dynasty currently contained in the choke.
They'll just have to back out here. It's pretty standard. Prophet and Fitz really struggling to get on the board with ultimate charge here, trailing massively behind the overclock that MMO-3 is about to have online, as with the pulse bomb from Carpe. Smurf, these fights aren't going long enough for him to build up enough energy, but there's a nano boost. They want to try and accelerate this.
They do, but yeah, that's going to be the ante coming through. Forces a bubble now. Pelos Rhea just immediately is there. Johnny on the spot to just gatekeep Prophet, keep him away from the rest of the squad. Carpe, however, just can take it down. Prophet finding that elimination. Pelos Rhea leaping back through the archway to try to stay safe down to a sliver of HP. Says, you know what, I've got this primal rage. I can go for an extended fight if we contest this. The 2 ticks have to be given up. MN3 now, overclock pops, they go diving forward, they're trying to find the elimination. Onto him, and they will have it. Prophet deflects the rail back into his face. Carves up Ape God to boot. And Pelos Rhea still uses the primal, but now is hacked out. There's only so much you can do. They'll drain the time bank down just a little bit here. As the EMP even is going to be used to go ahead and finish him off.
Fitz better change. That's borderline inexcusable.
I'm not sure about that one, Chief. Already, they start off with 30 seconds up compared to what we saw, but Fitz committing to that. I guess he was so worried about any potential reinforcements that could come back in if Pelos Rhea wasn't dead right in that moment, but he's going to be wishing that he still had it if they get held to the archway now.
Big problems for them, but they can't break through this defensive hold. That's all the way back.
Fixa has the protect.
Careful, this one. Good name low.
MN3 safe, and him taken down. They've got able to snipe him, it would seem. Iris as well, falling down to about half HP. Obviously can't really self-sustain. Let's just wait for bio nades to come up, otherwise go grab some health packs and wait for Vinheim to rejoin.
They've tried to lock someone in the corner. They know he's going to be back all the way with his team now, so we'll have fun another route for ingress. Smurf has that grab online, first one of the series.
He's also got decent energy right now.
Yeah, sitting at 55. We get a nano
sees the
support. Grab finds both the back line.
It catches up. Pionate down. Ape God buys him a little bit of extra time. Rally rolling his rope to fix him means that he does stay alive.
Energy
now
gone.
eliminated. The sound barrier not going to be there in time to save him. Carmen gets a pulls out onto Iris, and the Fusion are turning the fight. They lose Ape God, but they win out in so many other regards. Prophet as well. Going to get staggered here on the back end. 2.5 minutes now remaining for the Dynasties. The Fusion continue to pile this one very well. They're playing on the knife's edge, but more often than not, they are not the ones getting cut.
2 minutes 20 left in the time bank. Seoul Dynasty really struggling to break through this hole that the Fusion have right now. Graviton Surge onto the back line. Unable to convert more than one, and then after that, MMO-3 slides in and just takes out Smurf, who's now gone over to the Winston, knowing they're probably going to have to use the Monkey to break through this instead. Nano Boost available for Iris, could donate that over to Prophet for a Nano Blade. So when you got a Nano Boost for Aim God to try and mitigate that, Pelos Rhea could also buy some space for that Primal Rage. A lot of tools to try and shut this down. Waiting for their time to strike. Carpe, Nano Boosted.
Nano on a Carpe. When's the last time he's received one? Feels like it's going to be have to have been a damn long while. Prophet completely zoned back by MN3, shoved it around the corner, and Carpe goes in for the execution. Gets the kill. And the two committed from Dynasty find absolutely zero value. Pelos Rhea taking a nap, so won't be able to chase all the way into the spawn room for some extra kills, and never mind, he's woken up. He's not going to be able to get anything else off of that one, but with 1 minute and 28 seconds remaining, the Fusion look very well poised to hold this.
Carpe stalking once more, finding a stealthy path into the back. He's going to assassinate one of these targets in this final fight. He's getting some intel.
Going to give it a shot.
He knows he's going to go straight for Iris.
Oh, okay, a little bit botched, but you know, that's what it is. Doesn't get that one, but Pelos Rhea going to be taken down the front line now, broken open for the Dynasty. Fitz down to a sliver of HP, manages to make his way out of there. Iris still under fire. Vinheim desperately tries to keep him sustained, cannot. But It's a bloody brawl back and forth as Prophet finds 2, Carpe gets 1. The card, however, is sliding forward. They know that Carpe is behind them. It does put potentially Iris at a bit of risk, as I think he does need to rejoin the squad. The Fusion, they should be able to get a recontest here. 38 seconds remaining. Dynasty, they need to break through now.
Force off the card. Got that Primal Rage and the Rally. Lots of sticking power for the Soul Dynasty. Pulse Bomb, it's ZMP, all the tools are here for them. 20 seconds remaining, they just have to have an execute that they've been lacking on King's Row so far.
Rally's rolling. Pulse Bomb's up, both the Tracers now. Cart stopped 2.78 meters away. MN3 overclock now, going to be popped the EMP. Coming around the flank, if you can find MN3, that would cancel it. I believe he does hit him, and actually no, never mind, not going to find the cancel. Just gets the headshot instead. MN3 puts him in the dirt, but Smurf with the primal pops gets on top of Aim God. Now that's going to be supportless for the side of the Fusion. Carpe take it down. They'll just go ahead and cleave out the rest. So another minute and a half added. Soul Dynasty can absolutely still take this to extra innings. All ults pretty much expended, but we have 2 about to be, now actually 3 about to be online for the side of the Fusion.
Yeah, the Fusion has done an excellent job here, Seth, because now it doesn't matter if the Dynasty finish, they will have another attempt at this. They're not going to finish with over a minute time back, so they will not be locked out of winning this series and going to equalize it all. Dynasty need complete, and then we'll get those second innings you alluded to. Seems like a tall order at the moment as well, with only 1 minute remaining and all those ults to fight against. There's nothing in the tank for the Dynasty. They need to try and trade up quickly and get one last neutral fight.
Target identified there for a brief moment, but Vinheim takes the shield bash exit out. Bells free up, primal pop. Smurf going to be taking a nap, so again, that backline peel not really available, but the backline access also not quite there for the side of the Fusion. Iris and Fitz still do get picked. MN3 with a great rail headshot gets rid of the enemy Sombra. Fusion chase all the way forward towards the spawn room doors. 30 seconds now remaining. Any additional staggers would be catastrophic, and fortunately for the Dynasty, the rest of them do make it out to safety.
Maybe the Rally, maybe the Pulse Bomb is what you're going to be playing with the Dynasty. You still need to get through the Nano Boost and a Pulse Bomb with Carpe, and he's lurking again. He's going to find his path into the backline, Steph. If he gets a pick, it's all over for the Dynasty.
Just waiting for the call to come in. Still hidden. Hasn't been spotted yet. Nano out, aggressive push forward. Carpe take it down. Vince finds him with a rail shot. Cart, however, needs to be contested. Looks like they have tagged in. Bellsria, however, gets both of the supports once more. Smurf dead as he tries to drop down. He forces out the OT for a little bit longer, but the cleanup is coming through, and the Fusion are making it happen. They successfully defend the Cart here in front of Point C, and they will tie up this series 1-1.
Well played by them. Not missing a beat. Sloppy execution from Dynasty. Questionable ult usage at times as well. Does not change the fact that this is working for the Fusion. Able to send Belazrea in and just uncontested on that backline at the end there. Felt like Iris was left out to dry. You got no supports to try and fight the point at all. Just crumble, and the rest of the team will follow.
We're starting to see a little bit more of that disjointedness that plagued the Dynasty in their series versus Hangzhou Spark. Now against the Philadelphia Fusion. They tied up at 1-1. They very well could take this series away, and that would not be a result that anybody anticipated, just given the situation that the team finds themselves in. But right now, everybody is playing absolutely beautifully. Carpe in particular, after some time away, I mentioned that maybe the blonde hair, this is him going Super Saiyan. It's certainly looking like it, Trid, because damn is he popping off. You can see the wry smiles coming through. Maybe a little bit camera shy. Needs to get used to that one. It's been a little while since it's been anything other than a webcam in front of his face, so get readjusted.
Oh, that's adorable. That's adorable. AimGod just can't tolerate it. It's okay, you're doing amazing. Someone give AimGod a hug.
He and the rest of the squad looking great so far. Tied up 1-1, no one in the lead. Escort will go ahead and put somebody at match point, but if Fusion continue to play like this, could very well be them walking away with the advantage. We'll see what happens after we come back from the break. So don't go anywhere, guys. The action continues in just a few.